Yes again guys, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Where we last left off, we finished day 1 of investigating the crime scenes and whatever clues we could find. We learned that what was her name? Lana Sky tried to call her sister right after the murder happened, but she doesn't say. But the sister says that the call hung up like immediately. So she says they didn't talk about anything. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas.
Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate.
I believe in you, sis.
Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Mr. Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Okay, so we're suspecting also that her wound on her right hand might be a clue also, maybe? My first trial without Faye helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself.
Let's do this, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
This underage. well, Maya was 18, so she wasn't underage, was she? Hold this now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgy boy. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. No time to remember back to that. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in your hands, not those of anyone else. In our hands, my bad. Very well, Mr. Edgy boy. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot.
Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgy Boy. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough of Queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks? Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I already forgot. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgy Boy? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgy Boy. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgy Boy has said to the court, I am a professional. Oh, What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Star was a detective?
Oh, ha! I know who you are. Cuff up.
Cuff up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? She probably banged everyone. If I might have the court's attention over here. Boing. The parking lot to the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drag the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? Wait, so if he was killed in the car, can I look at this? Like, okay. He was killed here, right? And like almost dropped off. But we found his ID card like over here. How did it get over there?
Oh well. If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me? Witness testimony!
I've been waiting for this.
Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunch back to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely owned detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Wait, what? Then she thrust the pointy tip to the knife into the Detective Goatman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
What?
As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Alright.
Cross-examination!
Okay. Alright, save here. But you never know. Alright. Press!
How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I thought that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
Alright. As if someone late to deliver a lunch back to my boyfriend. Then why she... This boyfriend is the detective? Not that boyfriend. The security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Yep, she's banging everyone.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Not to self, just have to think before replying. Security guard room is in the lot in A block. Up on the second level, as you can see, everything from there. That would be the room with security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely owned detective intuition that worked. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tick. Attack! Yeah, with an order of an old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring at the back of my mind. My garage car, you mean? Mr. Edgy Boy's car, yes.
Mr. Edgy Boy's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgy Boy, wasn't it?
Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me? I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. Blah, blah, blah. I may be regulated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant, but I don't see any dead bodies here.
She's wearing gloves, I see. That's block A.
Oh, the barrels are up, though. When we went there, the barrels were down.
Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgy Boy? It is your knife after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg? I mean a person? Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
So the defendant is holding a knife. What then?
Then she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. What? You took the picture before then, right? She already had blood on her coat. And then she's... What? I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Mr. Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that!
So that was all? Okay, okay, let's look at the records here. Found at the prosecutor's office crime scene. Oh! Wait a minute! Ah, maybe not. I can't make out what the L is supposed to be. Okay, let's read this. Bruce Goodman, date between death, February 21. Day and time of death, 4 and 5:30 p.m. Caused loss of blood from chest wound. Assessment wound was caused by 4 or 5 in knife. A single stab wound was found. Wait a minute, if he died because of blood loss, and you were there seeing it all, why didn't you do anything? You managed to take a picture, but you didn't manage to call for help. He died of blood loss. He could have been saved. I was on my way to deliver a lunch back to boyfriend when I said something. Perhaps it was my finding home to take the intuition to work. Wait! She's not holding a knife with this picture! Can I present this?
Objection!
And you witnessed this? You saw Mrs. Sky stab the victim with the knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Oh shit! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgy Boy. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgy Boy? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Ah, of course.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph! Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem? Except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? I don't have a better idea. Save. Let's try to object. Maybe something. Okay. So that happened after the murder. Cell block A. The drum barrels, but when we got there, the drum barrels were down. For some reason. Gloves. Block A. Shit. Coat. Why was she wearing a coat? Oh, maybe the blood splatter. Okay. Knife. Was there any spatial? I'm not gonna object if I don't have anything to object against. But it's upside down, right? This is what the note we also got. It's like, so bam! 221. Or like, supposed to be 12-2, like the ticket we got. Miles Edgeworth. Is this the SL? I can't think of anything. Alright. Let's just object. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was premeditated murder.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber. Most likely why would she have those on? Well, she has the wound. If it was premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it, alright? What if it's just the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves?
Objection!
The gloves were admitted as evidence from when the defendant was arrested. There were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was we got that already. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking that it was all planned. If she can't prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. Next to a garage car, alright? murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Alright. Wait. Don't tell me she's wearing gloves because of this. That handprint we're seeing here. Because it was supposedly the right after the murder, and she put the victim into the car trunk. Is what I'm supposed to understand here. Okay, I can't think of anything. A quick cheat sheet. I'm a bad lawyer. Really? I have to present the knife? Okay. Oh no, it couldn't have, because it's Edge Boy's knife. If it was planned, then why was it Edge Boy's knife? Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunch boxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgy Boy's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, I'm the prosecutor back. Why is a child in court? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? The knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Order. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. Nani? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was The only one who seemed to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs proof. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Witness testimony. Angel's deduction. Okay, here we go again. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge a knife in again and again. What? It only did it once. What do you mean again and again? There was only one stab wound. If it was twice, you must have like precision stab. Does sound like a premonition, doesn't it? So, if I order the pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. I'm gonna... Okay, already on the again and again, implying that she did it multiple times.
Hold it!
A human machine? That's a contradiction!
Objection!
Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's size smelled like citrus fruit. You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? Come, she's getting mad at me.
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people! Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have a addiction, you know. Star had turned out to be a short-tempered as... Okay, she said multiple times, right? But the autopsy report says a single stab wound was found. She couldn't have, like, fucking Robin Hood stabbed that shit. I object! Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns off the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously more scientific testing is required. Okay, I'm gonna object.
Objection!
You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise!
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgy Boy.
What a hunk! He's my hero, really! What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, Missness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Then the picture could be like before then. Okay, I'm gonna save here. So this is it for this part. We'll do some more trialing next time on Phoenix Wright. I'm gonna leave you guys with hyper.